welcome to this week's episode of the Old Pods podcast. I'm Alan, this is Paul.
Hello.
This week we're going to review Superman, or I'm going to give my review on Superman. Paul's yet to see it, so I'm going to give my initial reactions and thoughts without being too spoilery. We'll start off from the top. This is my rating for James Gunn's Superman, 9 out of 10. Off the bat. It is very, very, very good. And I posted a quick clip of myself saying it was a 9 out of 10 as soon as I got out of the cinema. The expectations I had for it, what I wanted to see from it, how good I thought it would be, were blown away. It completely exceeded them. I figured, I was hopeful it would be like an 8. I thought it'd be good. I wasn't expecting it to be that good.
Yeah.
I'll try and stay away from spoilers, but I will give a spoiler warning in case any little spoilers are given away. And anybody who doesn't want to see them, go and see the movie, enjoy it or not, as the case may be, and then come back and listen again. So, two very small cons, and the first one is a little bit spoilery, but it's from early on in the movie that's not going to take anything too much away from it. Obviously, you see in the trailer, you see Kal-El go to the Fortress of Solitude, so you know it's already established. He's already an established Superman. It says in the opening crawl, you don't get a crawl, but you get a couple little bits, like 30 years ago, an alien pod crash landed in Kansas, kind of thing.
Yeah, I was going to ask if they did an origin, how they handled.
Yeah, so it's very well.
Because we're sick of saying it now. It's well established that we're sick of saying fucking origin stories. So I was going to ask if they did a little montage or what.
Very small. So literally right at the very start of the movie, when it pans, it's panning across Antarctica, and you can see all the mountains and all the ranges and all the snow, and it's all in threes. So it comes up with a bit of text saying 300 years ago, the first metahuman, or 3 centuries ago, it might be, I can't remember. The first metahuman was discovered on Earth to have remarkable powers, blah, 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 blah. And then it counts down and counts down. So it's kind of setting up James Gunn's world, really, that it already exists. And then it says 30 years ago, a spaceship crash landed in Kansas. 3 years ago, Superman arrived in Metropolis. 3 months ago, blah, blah, blah. 3 weeks ago, Superman stopped the war. And 3 hours ago, Superman got into the first fight. And 3 minutes ago, Superman lost his first fight since arriving. And then that's the scene from the trailer, you know, where you see him crash down in the snow, and he's all beat to fuck. And that's how the movie starts. That's the start of the movie. And then it goes from there, and there's a little bit of a fight scene to start that kind of establishes quickly Superman and Metropolis and Lex, and quickly establishes the villains, or who the villains are going to be. But in that scene, in the trailer, you know, when he goes and he whistles for Crypto, and Crypto comes and drags him back in, and then you see the Kal-El robots get him and carry him off to the chair where they put his son on him.
Yeah. Hi.
There's a little bit cut away from the trailer where it says, "Would you like us to play the clip of your parents? It brings you joy." And then it starts showing a clip of Jor-El and his mum. So that clip starts playing, and it's like, "Oh, we're sending you to Earth because our planet's being destroyed. You will flourish on the planet because of its yellow sun. Bring them joy, bring them hope. All this, or words to that effect. You will be a beacon of light on that planet." And then the clip kind of distorts and crashes, and it goes, "Oh, the Kal-El robot says that's as far as we've got because of the damage it sustained. We're still working on trying to recover it." And then Superman gets healed, and he goes back, and then the movie kicks on a little bit. And then very shortly after that in the movie, the engineer and Lex are in the fortress, because Lex tries to discover it, and essentially he finds a way to get the rest of this clip. And the clip is Jor-El saying, spoiler again, at the end of the clip, words to the effect of, "You will be a god to them, kill as many as needed, rule the planet with an iron fist."
What?
Yeah, yeah,
What?
yeah,
I mean, I'm not a comic person, but is that comic accurate? I thought his dad was like fairly chill, not as chill
yeah.
as
Fair,
Clark
very,
Kent, but I thought his
very
dad
chill.
was fairly because he was a scientist or something, wasn't he?
Yeah. So
Or was that just?
that's where the movie kicks off. Or that's kind of Lex's not intentional plan, but that's what he discovers. Goes there looking for a way to kill him or a
Right.
way
Ah,
to
yeah, yeah,
expose him, and he finds that, and he releases it to the world, and then everybody's like, "Oh well, fuck me, this guy is." He's got a
yeah.
Lex says he's got like a harem of lovers, and he's planning on taking over the planet.
Uh-huh.
And it goes from there. Now, it works well for the story, and it really moves the movie along at a
Uh,
pace that it should. But I don't like the dirty on
I,
Jarrell.
I don't know how I feel about that. Yeah, I
Yeah,
think that's a
I
bit
don't know how. Still now, like it was last week. I seen it. I still don't know how I feel about it.
feels a little
Uh,
bit cheap to me. That like the
mm, I mean, it's good. It's
If
good.
Lex faked it, I wouldn't mind that, but
Yeah,
like if that was the angle they pulled, but yeah, I'm not sure
yeah.
how I
They
feel
even
about that.
say it because he says obviously Lex is telling everybody on the public on this talk show that he's only saying, yeah, it's 100% genuine. We've got all these people that have verified it. Blah 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 blah. And then Superman's talking to Mister Terrific, and he's saying, and Terrific's, or it might be Lois is talking to Mister Terrific, one of them, and Terrific says, I know these people who verified the video, like they wouldn't lie.
Mm.
The video is 100% genuine. So that's it. I mean, it's not a big con, but I, I like that Gerald sent him to help bring peace, to
Yeah,
help
yeah,
bring hope.
I don't know how I feel about that. Yeah,
Yeah, and I mean, it's nice the way they do it, and it's nice the way they show his humanity, and he brings out his humanity, and ultimately,
mm,
it's a story of like his own decisions and his own actions make him the person that he is, not what he was sent to do.
mm.
And it's the story of his humanity and how that come about, and that counters against Lex's what's the opposite of humanity? Lex's shittiness,
Inhumanity.
inhumanity, yeah, and how cold and crass and calculated he is. So it works. It works. It really does work, and it doesn't take anything away from the movie. And it's a small criticism, but I still don't know how I feel about it.
Yeah, yeah, I'm not keen on that. I'm not keen on that. Like how they've pulled that off. That sounds a
No,
bit. Uh,
no. And it does make it dark. It doesn't make it dark at all.
no, yeah. To me it sounds I don't know for me it just sounds a bit too manufactured. Like they've been
Mm.
looking around going, what can we do to
I have seen it
like
done a couple of times recently. It was done in the animated My Adventures with Superman. You might not have seen it. Or you might have. I don't know.
I might have, yeah.
It's voiced. It's voiced by Jack Quaid. Actually, Superman's voiced by Jack Quaid. Um, and it's got the same kind of origin in there, where the Kryptonians were rulers, and they were
Yeah.
sent out to rule. So it didn't take me completely from left field, but I wasn't sure how I felt about it in the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's one criticism. The other criticism I've got is the power scaling of Superman, and again, this is a really, really minute, petty criticism. Like it doesn't take away from the movie at all. But and it might have even been why I can remember initially in the first trailer that he flinched when he got the can
Yeah.
chucked at him, and everybody twisted and bitched and
Yeah.
complained about it. Rightly so, because it's fucking
I
Superman.
mean, when I saw I said, how did he flinch?
Yeah, I did as
It's
well. Yeah, I
Superman,
did.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And obviously they fixed it and took it out. But he's obviously Superman. He's obviously very strong.
Yeah.
He's very fast. But there isn't anything that makes you go, fucking hell, that's unbelievable.
Ah, it's nothing amazing, yeah.
Yeah,
That was
it's
one of my worries about it. The trailer seemed very unspectacular. Like there was no sort of there was no like aeroplane bit
yeah,
from
yeah,
Superman, like or the bit with the bullet, where it shoots him in the eye.
yeah. It
That was
gets him
like
in
a
the
really
eye.
small thing. It was like, even though it wasn't really spectacular, it was still like a holy shit moment.
Yeah,
Like it sort of showed how next level he was.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. And don't get me wrong. There's bits when he's showing his strength, and there's great. I'll go into them. There's great bits when he's showing his strength and his ability. But it felt very much kind of almost akin to, rather than the strength of the Superman I imagined, it was closer to the strength of maybe Invincible from the show.
Mm.
Do you know what I mean? Like that kind of super strength.
Hmm.
And it might be that he's still young and hasn't figured out how to use his abilities or whatever. But he got beat up a lot,
Mm.
and his feats of strength were great. They were massive, but they weren't like universally strong. Do you know what I mean? They were just
Mm.
strong. And again, it's a very, very petty, tiny little criticism that I've got.
It's a tough one to do with Superman though, isn't it? Because he is so,
Yeah,
I don't
exactly, and
know.
that's why I
It's
give it a
weird
pass.
between comics and cartoons and films and stuff. He's all he is all over the place. You know,
Yeah,
like
and if you make him too strong, too powerful,
it's
too
boring.
invulnerable,
Yeah,
it's boring. You don't get a
yeah,
decent story from it. You've got to give him a little bit. Um, but I would have liked to see a little bit more of a big, powerful kind of battle or feat of
yeah. Like a big
strength.
set piece or something. Yeah,
Yeah, like do you know what the end of Superman Returns when he's like he lifts the island and
yeah,
it's like fucking hell,
yeah, yeah.
like
That was cool.
the
Yeah,
island full of kryptonite.
yeah.
Um,
I mean, I refer to it a lot, but for me, the plane scene, the plane was it was
yeah,
great because it showed that he was too strong to manage something like a plane, and he had to be smart as well as strong. You know, he
yeah,
couldn't just grab it and lift it because he ripped the wing off.
he just tear it a bit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he just pulled it, and it was sort of it showed that he was very strong, but that wasn't the answer, and he had to be smart as well.
yeah,
Um, yeah, I was worried about that from the trailers and stuff that it just looked a bit. There wasn't sort of like a holy shit moment,
yeah, yeah,
and I it was one of my reservations about the whole thing with James Gunn because everybody knows that he loves like obscure heroes,
yeah.
and I think he's more interested in sort of doing Mr. Terrific stuff, like weird stuff and
Mm.
lantern stuff, like with whatever ring constructs they make and things like that. I think that appeals to James Gunn more than
Well,
like
it's funny you
a
should say that,
hero.
and I'll get into it in prose, but I think the best fight scene in the movie was Mr. Terrific fight scene.
I've heard he stands out in the like,
Oh,
but
oh yeah, like
yeah,
I should have wrote his name. I made some notes and I should have wrote the actor's name down. It's Eli something, isn't it? From he's
he's
been
in
in a
X Men,
few
isn't
bits.
he?
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely
criminally underused
brilliant,
in that.
brilliantly played, brilliantly played. I mean,
Um,
I'll get into pros now because there are so many pros, and while we're on it, I might as well just jump into the actors. That every actor and actress that was cast in the movie were completely bang on. Like
who plays Daily Planet guy?
Perry White,
Mm.
he's the guy from Suits. Did you ever see Suits?
No, I've not seen it.
Ah, that's where I recognised him from. I can't remember his name. I'll find out now.
I'll have a little look while you go through your pros.
Yeah, but every actor and actress standout performance. David Corenswet as Superman is brilliant. Not only as Superman, but as Clark as well.
Hmm.
Like down to a T. He has the shift in personality very well when he switches up from being Clark to being Superman.
Yeah, I was wondering if they did that as well. Yeah, because I'd seen a very brief clip of like Clark and Lois talking, but it wasn't from the film. It was like a marketing thing. It was
Yeah.
like I don't know if it was for an advert or a trailer or something, and he just came across like essentially like Superman, and I
Oh
thought
yeah.
he's not very Clarky, like he was like very confident and super deep voice and sort of very cool,
Oh,
and it was
it was great. There's a bit when he's going in into the Daily Planet as Clark, and he's kind of fumbling about and dropping bits all over, and the bullpen in the Daily Planet, all of them are in there. So Jimmy's in there, Lois is in there, Cat Grant's in there, he's in there. There's a guy who's like I can't remember his name, who's like the sports reporter in there, and he's like ripping on him, saying like giving him shit for his shitty taglines and his shitty headlines,
all right. Huh.
and he's like, oh yeah, yeah, and he's like brushing it off, but very kind of meekly brushing it off as you imagine
Mm,
Clark would. But then when he's a Superman, when he's in the suit, he's very Superman. There's a
mhm.
great scene in it. It's one of my favorite scenes. It's one of my favorite effects as well in the movie. It's another one that's kind of cut from the trailer. You know, in the trailer when the funny looking kaiju's in the city and it's
Yeah.
breathing fire at him.
Uh-huh.
So the scene when it breathes fire at him, there's a little bit in between where the fire bursts into an office of people behind him.
Hmm.
So he shields it, he covers it, but the flames obviously go right round him and burst through the office behind him, and all the people are taking cover behind the desks, and the flames stop, and he turns, and you get a shot from the office, from the people in the office perspective, looking out the window of him, just hovering
Mhm.
outside of the window, just in prone position, and he like turns while he's hovering to look in the window, puts his back to the kaiju, and checks on the people before he does anything else, and he says, "Are you okay?" and checks on all of them before he turns back round.
Mhm.
And I thought that was just such a Superman thing to do, like to go like fuck the thing that's going on behind me.
Mhm.
I'm going to check on the people in there before I do anything else. But the effect when he's just flying there is just completely seamless. Like he's just
Mhm.
outside the window hovering in midair. It's one of the best representations of human flight I've seen in a movie. And he just, because it's not exaggerated, it's just him turning in the air, checking on people, and then
Mhm.
turning back, and it just looks so fucking tight. It's great, and then it
Mhm.
goes from there to the scene that you see in the trailer where he goes, "Hey, big
Yeah, he
guy," and he
fights
says,
with
"Eyes
him.
up," and then he flies up to the out the way. It looks great. Lois is fantastic. The chemistry between the two of them. James Gunn spoke a lot about wanting to make sure that they had chemistry
Mhm.
before they went into any filming of any kind of scenes with Lois and Clark, and you can see there's instantly chemistry between them.
Mhm.
Again, when he's Clark and when they're talking just casually, and she knows who they are. She's feisty. She's funny. Um, she's hot tempered. She's very proactive and assertive. She's great. She's just what a Lois Lane needs to be. And then you get into the likes of obviously Perry and Jimmy Olsen, who don't have as much screen time, but the screen time they do have are great. And Jimmy, to be fair, Jimmy Olsen gets more screen time than I thought he was going to get. Yeah, they've made him. Well, I'm not going to say actually because I don't want to spoil it, but he's got a really good character, Jimmy Olsen, in the movie. And then obviously the Justice Gang, as they refer to themselves in the movie,
Just
there's
this gang. We're
the
gonna come
Justice
to that.
Gang. So there's Green Lantern, which is Nathan Fillion, which
Mhm.
is great. He's a prick, as not a prick in a bad guy, but like a cocky prick. Do you know what I mean? Like bullshit,
Mhm.
cocky dickhead, um, which he should be. I forget her name. Who plays Hawkgirl?
I don't
Is it
know.
Isabella Merced? I think. Don't crucify me for getting her name wrong. Um, she's great as well. Standout, Mr. Terrific is one of the best bits of the movie, like the best acted characters in the movie. It's just so good. I don't know, again, that he's got one of the best, or the best fight scene in the movie,
Mhm.
hands down. Um, which I won't spoil until you see it, but it's very James Gunn.
Mhm.
Do you know what I mean?
I've
Like,
I've heard he's good. Like I've heard that he's like he's a real standout of it.
yeah. Um, and the the other actor, who I would give top marks to and beyond all of them, almost on par as David Corenswet, is Nicholas Hoult as Lex.
Mhm.
He plays a fantastic Lex Luthor, like absolutely fantastic Lex Luthor. He's just suave, like you imagine Lex would be,
Mhm.
um, using his brain to do what he needs to do, rather than try and rely on any brute force or strength, which is comes across in some of the fight scenes and the actions and the way he's kind of manipulating people. And the way he battles Superman is with his mind. I don't want to say anything because I don't want to spoil it, but it's very clever the way they do it, very quick. Um, and he's got an absolutely fantastic monologue at the end. It's just really clever. Like someone makes a comment or someone says something about him being jealous of Superman's powers, and he cuts him off and he says, "Of course I'm jealous. Of course I'm envious." Like he says, "I'm not fucking stupid. Like I know this." And he goes
Mhm.
off on a monologue, and it's so good. It's so Lex. Do you
Mhm.
know what I mean? Like I don't want to spoil it, but it's fantastic. Like standout performances by all on board. Just great, well acted. There is a lot of crypto. Crypto is used a lot in
Uh,
the movie. I
Not
don't
sure
know
how I
how
feel
much. I
about
don't know how
that.
well you'll do with that. To be honest, I don't
Yeah, it
know.
seems a bit. I don't know. It just seems a bit of a gimmick.
Yeah,
Bit of a something to get bums in seat. I don't
yeah,
know.
it is used a lot, but it is very good. It is very good. There's this scene where, and this is a bit of a spoiler, but it's not too big, so I'll tell you that one. You know when I said Lex and the engineer go into the Fortress of Solitude?
Mm.
So obviously Crypto is there. They fuck up all the robots, and Crypto goes to fight them, and the engineer kind of takes out Crypto. So
Is
this,
the engineer like a super, or is that the woman with the fucking knife hands?
yes, yeah. So
Right,
essentially,
right.
she's infused by nanobots by Lex,
The old
so she can
nanobots.
morph into anything which she
Right,
wants.
right, yeah.
Um, I forgot about that character as well. Metamorpho again, fantastic, but I'll not jump backwards and forwards too much. Um, so Crypto gets taken, and then the video is released of like Jor-El saying take over the world, and it all goes to shit. And then Clark or Superman's thinking about it, and he's going, "Well, how the hell did they get the video?" And he realised they must have gotten it from the fortress.
Hmm.
So he zips off at super speed, and he's in there. He's in the fortress, and he's looking for Crypto, and he can't find it. And he does that super whistle in there, which sounds great in the cinema,
Mm.
trying to find him to come, and he can't find him. And the next thing you see like a wide shot of Lex's office building, and just Superman just blur through the window, and then it cuts into Lex's office, and his office door just fucking obliterate across the room, and he goes in, and he's fucking again acted really well. He's absolutely livid, and he's screaming, and he's saying, "Where's the dog, Lex? Where's the dog?" And Lex is like, "I don't know what you mean. What dog?" And he says, "Don't play around with me. Just tell me where the dog is." And he's like chucking his desk about. And Lex is that's really class. Lex has got like a cup that he's drinking of, and he goes, "I don't know what dog you mean." And he like lifts the cup and goes, "Stupid white dog with a red cape." Dave Tessmacher's in the background, like recording it, and Superman turns around and he's shouting and he says, "You heard that, didn't you? You got that on camera, didn't you?" And Lex is going, "I don't know what you're talking about." Like, it's just really, really well done. Great. So it's a great little scene.
Mm.
Um, yeah, but Crypto's in it a lot. So if Crypto gets on your nerves a little bit, he is in it quite a bit.
Mm.
Yeah, it's good. It looks really good. Looks really good, but he is in it a lot. Um, some other great scenes that I don't really want to spoil. Emotional beats. There's some great emotional beats in there. Obviously, as you'd expect, there's a very touching scene with him and Pa Kent on the farm at one point. Well, like it's like his true family that raised him.
Hmm.
Um,
Does he die in a fucking tornado this time, or does he do it
no, he
properly?
does not die in a tornado. There is not a tornado in sight. There is not a. Well, this
Yeah.
is another point I'll get to shortly, actually. So I'll not go into that just yet, but I will. It's one of the points that I've got to make. That's a very emotional scene. There's a very emotional scene at the end. There's an emotional scene where Superman's giving a monologue to Lex um, that really gets you in the feels. But that brings me on to my final pro, which ties into the fucking does Park Kent die in a tornado or tell his son not to save a fucking school bus full of kids?
Mm.
It's a Superman that's very hopeful and joyful and
Mm.
happy. Like I was thinking about it. I was thinking about it earlier today. Like obviously my kids are still very young, and I wouldn't be well for I wouldn't even get them to watch it. If I said I'm going to put Man of Steel on, they wouldn't entertain it. They'd have 5 minutes and go, right, I'm bored of this. Let's turn it off and put something else on. If I put this Superman on for them, as young as they are, it would grip them straight away.
Yeah, it does seem like from the trailers it seems a bit more accessible, a
Oh,
bit more like a
100%.
bit less intense. Like the Snyder ones were very brooding and very angsty and dark.
Yeah,
Like just very drab and
yeah,
washed out.
100%. And
This looks like a comic book movie.
that's exactly what I was going to
It
say.
looks like a comic book. Really, it's very colourful and sort of.
This makes no qualms about it that this is a comic book movie and it lives in a comic book world,
Mm.
surrounded by comic book superheroes with comic book characters all around it.
Mm.
That's exactly what you get. I think it's probably one of the closest movies I've ever seen to having where I would go from having a comic book in front of me to seeing it on the screen.
Mm. Yeah,
It is
it does seem like they've gone for that sort of
it's 100
vibe.
percent. He's created a world that's a comic book world that feels lived in
Mm.
and uses it very well with all the characters, all the emotional beats, all of the drives of each character is very comic book in feel. No scenes where you think, oh well, shit, this is a bit fucking dark. Like Park Henson, don't use your powers, don't save people,
Mm.
don't rescue me from a fucking tornado. All in all, I can't sing its praises enough. I think it's fantastic. It exceeded all my expectations for it.
Mm.
Well, it's so close to being a 10 that I almost give it a 10 when I was rating it. But
Yeah,
there's a couple of bits in it, like the Jarrell thing. It's just petty, but it's just
yeah.
felt a bit odd. But
Mm.
again, I don't want to spoil too much. So I'll not say too much more.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to watch it. Like, I'm
Yeah,
not
it is
opposed to
very,
watching
very,
it,
very
but
good.
I just don't know when. I'll probably not go to the cinema to see it.
Yeah,
I
very,
kind
very,
of
very
really,
good.
I haven't
I
got a
don't
cinema
know.
visited me.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know how well. I don't want it. I don't want my forecast to be wrong, or my prediction to be wrong. But because I said I've been saying for ages now that I think Superman's going to make more money and Fantastic Four is going to be the better movie.
Mm.
Now I don't know because that was so good, and a Fantastic Four is as good as that. I've eaten well with movies this year.
Wow, Marvel's got the marketing machine that DC doesn't. I think.
Yeah, this is true. This is true. Which segues nicely into some of the bits that I've got that I was going to run past. So, um, Kevin Feige was chatting to, I don't know who the fuck he was talking to be honest, but he was doing an interview with someone and he was just fucking talking about everything. Um, so he said that Marvel's now got a 7-year plan following
Jesus fucking Christ.
following Secret Wars. He said his contract's due to expire in 2 years, but he said he can't see any reason why he wouldn't extend that and push it on for the next 7. The thing that caught my eye from the bits that he was announcing was that obviously we both like Blade, like we're fans of
Hmm.
Blade, and that movie was announced ages ago, and he said that they've halted a little bit for it because the script hasn't been there, and he said after Infinity War and Endgame, the focus was more on quantity rather than quality,
Mm.
and he says that's something he's trying to get away from, and he said he doesn't want to give a character like Blade, they don't want to just hire a leather jacket on and have him killing vampires for
Mm.
the crack. He said he wants a really good story to move forward on there, which I think's good. Like, I don't want to see a shit Blade movie. It was bad enough sitting through fucking Blade Trinity. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
that was torture. I saw a clip of it the other day on YouTube Shorts, and even just a little 2 3 minute clip of it was fucking painful to
Yeah,
watch.
it was. It was really
Horrible,
painful. Like, I'd
awful film
rather
that.
I'd rather them do that and say, right, you're going to get Blade in 4 years, but we're going to make sure that everything's done well for
Mm.
it, and just invest the money, invest the time in it to make it
Well, I
a
mean
good movie.
that's how films used to be made.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
rather than this fucking production line, like of just shitting things out for the sake of it, just to just to get it out.
Oh yeah,
It's
somebody
for
commented
the for the
on a post
phase.
I put up the other
Who
day
gives a
for
fuck about the phase?
when we were ranting about Moon Knight and we were saying how
Ah,
shit
yeah,
Moon Knight was. And somebody commented and said, "I don't know what they need to do." And I said, I replied to his comment and I said, "I'd be happy if they just sacked all the shit off, trying to pump out 4 or 5 year and just do one decent
yeah,
show,
ah, yeah,
and just get that one out." Just spend the money and the time on that. Take the budget that you've had for these fucking 6 shows and make one good one.
yeah. I mean,
Like
there's
I don't
absolutely
see how it's
nothing
hard.
wrong with like 2 films a year and one show
No,
a year. There's,
nothing wrong
there's
at all.
fuck all wrong
I
with
take
that.
one of one. I take one and one. I take
Yeah,
one show, one movie
one
a
of
year.
each is fine, but I mean, they've got the money to make two
Oh yeah,
proper solid. They've got the people, and they've got the money to make two really solid films a year, and like
yeah,
have
definitely.
two completely different teams working on them.
Yeah,
Um, it's just it's not. We don't need this Call of Duty, FIFA, you
no,
know, just constantly fucking hammering this shit out because we need to get we've got the phase, we need to get things done in this phase. It's just who cares about the
no. Just
phase,
make good
like
movies.
it's the phase shit means nothing to anybody anymore. It's
No,
it's just porridge now, it's all just this Marvel slop that just falls out. And
yeah,
it's like,
exactly.
we've got another one. It's just like
There's just so many of them
it's
that I
just shit
haven't seen
falling out
now
that
because you,
nobody
you
cares
can't
about.
keep up.
Yeah,
Can't keep up with it. Like
yeah.
You don't, and then a movie comes out where they all get banged together, which I imagine is going to happen in Doomsday or Secret Wars, and you're not going to have any kind of emotional connection to half of the characters in
Mm.
there because you probably won't have seen them all. Yeah. One of the other comments he made was that after Secret Wars, or further down the line, in any case, so not in the near future, he says the likelihood is he says that eventually they will recast Iron Man and Captain America, which is, I mean, that I think that was always on the cards to happen
Mm.
because they can't have properties like that and not use them. Do you know what I mean? And he
Oh,
kind of just
yeah, they're going to want to milk them. Yeah.
yeah, and he kind of justified it saying like, oh well, like Corin Sweat's now a great Superman, and there's been several Superman actors. There's been obviously countless James Bond, not countless, but there's been X amount of James Bond actors, and there's no reason why Iron Man and Captain America and all these big hitters from Marvel couldn't have the same kind of legacy in them, where they have movies where they just recast.
Mm.
Mm. And the last comment he made was about Miles Morales Spider Man. He said Sony has said on no certain terms to stay away from Miles Morales until they finish their Spider Verse trilogy because
All right.
Sony's still got the clamps on them. Yeah.
Haven't they had
Um,
3 films already?
they've had two, so the last one's due to come out. They've had Into the Spider Verse and Across the Spider Verse, and the last one's Beyond.
Oh, right. So the first one doesn't count.
No,
Oh no, sorry. I'm thinking about the films. You mean the animated ones, right?
yeah,
Yeah, I'm
yeah,
with you. Yeah.
yeah. I've read this just today. That that's something I don't know how I feel about either. I got excited when I seen the headline that they've just announced they're making a new Dread movie.
Yes, I heard that myself with what's his face?
Taika Waititi
Silly
is
bollocks. Yeah,
the director. So this is what I don't feel great about. I don't know how well that's going to go down.
yeah. I'm going to reserve judgment on it. I mean, you might have a good serious film in him, but and I know Judge Dredd.
Maybe.
I know Judge Dredd comics weren't particularly serious. They were always a little bit tongue in cheek. Um,
Yeah, but I mean, like you still had the
but they were still quite violent and sort of
yeah, it
the
was.
the the straight, between, because I used to read Judge Dredd when I was, well, 2000 AD, when I was young, and
Hmm.
the sort of, yeah, did you flicker between sort of moments of silliness and then moments of like quite dark sort of serious stuff. So yeah, but yeah, well, we'll see. I mean, I mean, he has done great films, but that Thor one was just, fuck me, that was
Yeah,
like
it
a
was painful.
monumental stinker. That was
That was
just,
a painful
it
movie
was
to
a
watch.
spectacularly bad film. And I think he's going to
Pisses
have
me.
to
I mean,
to
we spoke
graft to
about
get
it
away
last
from
week, but
that.
it pisses me off something chronic because it could have been really good.
What annoys me is, I mean, we've talked about it before. He took probably one of the best Thor storylines and
Hmm.
turned it into complete shit.
Yeah,
Like, it was such a shame. That could have been any like
thing is
Z-list
though,
Thor villain,
they
like
get
that they used, but they took
yeah
the.
they got
It's
probably
yeah,
if not the best villain the Thor's had written
yeah,
for
the
him,
best story and villain
and then they got
combo. Yeah,
fucking Christian Bale to act him to
yeah, I
to
yeah,
portray him, one of the best actors like of this generation,
yeah.
and then just made a chip.
Just completely fluffed it. Yeah,
Legit.
just spaffed it all over the place.
Yeah. No, no.
Um, yeah, mental. But yeah, we'll see. I mean, it's always going to get held up against that Carl Urban one, which was like awesome.
Yeah, that was class.
Um, so it's obviously gonna get held up against that quite a lot. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see.
Oh, oh well. Okay. Another couple of quick ratings I've got for movies I've seen recently. So I've seen Novocaine with Jack Quaid, where he doesn't feel pain. Um, it was good. It was all right. More gruesome than funny in points.
Mhm.
Kind of film that makes you go a bit like, ugh. Do you know what I mean? Like I watched it. I watched it with my wife, and she was grimacing quite a lot. Like when he's getting like his nails pulled out and
Yeah,
bones are getting
some of the bits in the
broken.
trail look bad. He puts his hand in the fryer. That looked really bad.
Yeah, that
Ugh.
looks grim. Like she said to me at one point, she says, "What the fuck have you got me watching here?" Um, that gets like my rating for Novocaine would be about a 7 out of 10.
Mhm.
It was all right. It's good filler. Kill some time. Not particularly bad, but wouldn't be in a rush to watch it again. And the other one that I watched recently, just yesterday actually, was Megan 2.0. Now, if you've seen the trailer for Megan 2.0, you've seen the movie for Megan 2.0. There's, there's not much more in the movie than in the trailer. Certainly no more substance in the movie
Yeah,
than what's in the trailer. Um,
yeah. As soon as I saw the trailer, I knew it was going to be a complete turd. I
yeah,
didn't particularly like the first film. It was very watered down. You could see it was watered down um, to be a bit more family friendly. Not family friendly, but like a bit more palatable
yeah. I
for
don't
younger
even
viewers.
know where they would class it, what genre they would class it as. It's certainly not a horror. So
Well,
there's,
yeah, that was a big complaint for a lot of people, saying that they didn't make a horror film. They made it like an action movie essentially.
yeah,
And I think
it's
even
more
the
more so in this one, more
yeah,
so in this one.
even the writer, like, yeah, that's what I mean for the second one. Even the
Yeah,
writer director said like that he thought that Megan was such a um like she was already established as such a big character that they could
mm,
like do other stuff with her. They could move her sideways into an action movie and into a thriller. And he realized that he'd made such like a massive mistake that it's just that's not what the world wanted. Nobody wants to see Chucky make an action movie. It's
yeah,
a doll that
yeah,
kills people. That's the whole hook. We don't want a doll that saves the world and is sassy. It's yeah, it's a complete misstep from the
oh,
writer,
absolutely.
director,
It, I
whatever
think
he
it
is,
made
whoever's
fuck all as
controlling it.
well. I think it made worldwide something like 80 million. Like
Yeah, I heard it was a
made
turd, like bad word of
made
mouth.
fuck all.
I mean, the trailer was bad, but I think I read that word of mouth completely killed it. Because
Yeah,
as soon as people said it's not a horror film, that's it. It's your audience is gone.
no,
It's
absolutely not a horror movie.
it's one of the things
It's
that
not
annoys
even.
me about horror stuff. People use the horror genre as like a bit of a paddling pool to
Mm,
jump in and piss around in, and like, I'm gonna make a silly film. And then as soon as they get a little bit popular, they start to like try and
get out
yank
the
it all
pool.
away from it. It's
Yeah,
like, and they piss off the crowd that made them successful. But
yeah.
yeah, well, sounds like he made an enormous mistake. I
Certainly
mean,
financial
I
mistake.
didn't like the first one. I thought it was absolutely bang average.
Well, the first one I'd
Um,
seen more of it, like we were saying earlier before we started recording. Like the first one I'd probably seen made up of clips that I'd seen online and
mm,
shorts and reels and stuff. Um, to kind of get the gist of that entire film and see most of that entire film online. I mean, it was daft. It was daft. You could, to be honest, it's probably more rewatchable than Overkill, like because you could put it on in the background and just laugh at how ridiculous it is. Okay, but who's your reviews? Have you caught up with anything recently? Any
uh,
movies or shows or anything that's caught your eye? Anything that's coming
I've
out
what
that you think, oh, I want to give that a go?
I've started watching that Mobland. I don't know if you've seen that. You've probably seen a lot
Oh
of
yeah,
clips
I've
of
heard a
that
few
on
people bang
YouTube.
on
The
about that.
advertising
Yeah.
the shit out of it to me. I started giving that a go.
And did you ever watch a show called Severance?
No, but I've heard it's good.
I've heard it's good as well, but
Yeah,
I've never
people at
seen
work
it.
talk about it, saying it's good, and I might give that a go at some point.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, I started watching Mobland. It's gangster stuff. It's all right.
Is it like Peaky Blinders gangster stuff, or is it like
No, it's like
modern stuff?
modern. So it's very modern. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, what's his name? Not Sean Connery. Pierce Brosnan is like the head of a crime family,
Oh yeah.
like an Irish gangster mob family. A very successful one. They really right up there, and I think they control a lot of London's drug trade.
Hmm.
Um, and Tom Hardy's is like he's fixer. Goes around and he does all the beating people up and getting
Yeah.
quite getting stuff sorted. He's the fixer. Uh, anyway, Pierce Brosnan's grandson gets involved in some altercation on a night out. Because he's a prick. He's just a proper cocky little asshole. Uh, and it all ends in it all. Basically, he's on a night out with the son of his family's rival family. So there's like a
Hmm.
Cockney gangster family, and their son is out with the Irish gangster's grandson. Um, and they're out when it all goes off, and he sort of gets in a fight and stuff. And then this lad goes missing from the Cockney gangster family. He disappears after this night out, and you never know what you don't find out what happened. Or well, I haven't yet. on this, and so that's the premise of it. Is this the Cockney gangster guy? I forget his name, but he was in loads of stuff. He was in like Green Street and stuff like that.
Oh, I think I know who you
He's
mean.
got like ginger curly hair.
Mm,
He always plays like a proper Cockney bastard.
yeah,
Uh, anyway, yeah, he says like you've got 24 hours sort of thing to basically to find my son and to bring my son to me, or it's war. We're going to go to full on war. But there's all kinds of stuff going on. There's loads of people up to no good and various political allegiances and
yeah,
stuff like that. And Pierce Brosnan's wife is Helen Mirren, um, and she's weird, like she's sort of she's the backbone of the family, but she's very obviously up to something, like you don't know what yet, but she's being strange.
yeah.
Uh, yeah, and the most entertaining thing about it is Pierce Brosnan's Irish accent because it's fucking rubbish at times, even though he is Irish. So I don't know what went on there, but it's a weird one. But it's good. It's up to now. It's good. It's like it's Cockney gangster stuff. It's absolute bread and
Yeah,
butter sort of stuff. Just lots of scenes of them acting hard and sort of like doing these little monologues of I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen next if like if you don't
yeah.
do this I'm gonna da 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 and it's yeah it's all very by the
Gangsters
book,
giving the tough
but
guy
it's
talk.
yeah I Tom Hardy trying to be a proper tough guy as always. He's the hardest man in cinema.
Yeah.
He would like us to believe. Um, yeah, all right. Yeah, it's all right so far. Might turn to shit. Might be really good, but it's very easy to digest. The story moves along quite slowly. A couple of little actiony bits and couple of scraps and stuff like that. Um, very watchable up to now.
I'll settle it. I'll wait and see what you think of there when you caught up watched a bit more of it before I dive into it. I want
Yeah,
to do well after speaking before the episode, I want to try Penguin before I try anything else. I think.
yeah. Penguin definitely worth a watch. Brilliant film. Brilliant show. Absolutely fantastic. Um, other than that, what have I? No. Oh, I watched the new season of The Bear.
Oh yeah, what do you think of that?
Fuck me. It's hard work.
Really, it's gone downhill.
I tell you what, that show is getting like the last season, season three for me. I struggled. I really struggled with it. It felt like it was going nowhere. It just felt like it was spinning its wheels the whole time. Um, and I'll be honest, I can't really tell you much of what went on in season three.
Hmm.
Um, after season one and two was so good, season three was difficult. This
I was going to
season,
say I've only seen season one and half of season two, so what I've seen is
yeah,
good.
yeah. Season one and two are great, brilliant shows, really good. Three, I struggled with. I thought they running out of steam a little bit.
Yeah,
Season four, fucking painful. Yeah. Um, I know it's not a show about food and about the restaurant specifically. The restaurant is a vehicle for their relationships. I'm not I'm not daft enough to think it's a show about food, But
yeah,
I would like to see some of the interesting, exciting stuff was the restaurant stuff
yeah,
because it it showed people's behaviors and things like that and how they coped with things like pressure and success and stuff like that. And now it's all they do is just talk. They just talk to each other and like nod, like they just sitting and nodding at each other in this really, worthy sort of like meaningful way, and just
yeah,
these long glances at each other where they just both silently nod at one another and like apologize and tell each other they love each other all the time. And yeah, it's. I mean, I
painful.
sat through it and I watched it, and they had a big they had like a big double length episode where some character got married. Richie's Richie's ex got married to her new fella, Josh Hartnett. Um, and they were very obviously going for like the big, um, I forget what they call it. Like with tons of characters and actors in.
Oh yeah, like
Like
loads of
the
cameos.
yeah, that's it. Yeah, like the episode. I don't know if you've seen it yet, but the episode where it's a Christmas dinner at his mum's house,
Yeah, and
and
like
she
Bob
loses the plot.
Odenkirk's on the table, and
That's yeah, it's like that, but like
Bernthal's there, and
yeah, it's like that turned up to 11. Like
yeah,
everybody's there. Um, Obviously not Bernthal, but yeah, like everybody shows up, does a line or two, and then pisses off. Um, and there's even characters there, and you think like, why are they here? You know. Um, and it just doesn't hit. You know, like well for me anyway, it just yeah, I've it feels like they don't know where it's going.
yeah.
And
Want to keep it going because of the
they just want to
popularity.
keep it going because it's successful. Yeah, they're
Yeah,
just gonna keep
I
pumping
hate
it
that.
out.
I hate
That's where
that.
it
Like,
feels like. I mean, they might have an idea and it's gone too soul searching and too worthy and too dramatic for me.
yeah,
Um, but I like the sort of I liked how it was a workplace thing, you know, and they were all professionals and they were all sort of or not all professionals, but sort of the training and making them better and sort of and the food as well. The food, like I like the food scenes, you know, like of them making something, the creativity and stuff like that.
yeah.
Um, and that's all gone now. Now it's just drama now.
It's
That's
just
all it
getting
is.
dragged out.
It's just people talking at each other, nodding at each other silently. Um, yeah, it's so terribly sort of give me an award, you know.
Yeah.
It's really awards hunting now.
Whenever I think of shows like that, where I think like they're dragging them on, I always think of Breaking Bad. And one of the reasons that I loved that so much was you could tell it was a defined story that had a beginning, a middle, and an end,
Yeah.
and they knew what was happening with it. And once they told that story, that was it. They were done.
Mm. Yeah, I like that. I like that kind of show. Um, and I think I can kind of see where they're taking the bear, story
Mm.
wise. I don't particularly like the way that I think it might be going, but that's by the by. Um, but it does feel like they don't really know. I'm sure they do, but it feels like they don't because it feels like it's being padded out.
Yeah.
There's videos on YouTube of like there's like compilation videos of Silent nodding in the bear. It's getting to be a meme, you know, like a bit of a piss take.
Yeah.
Now how worthy it is. Um, yeah, it. I think for me it started in season three as well. There was an episode towards the end of season three where they went to the fine. Oh, you're not seeing it.
No, I'm not that
Anyway,
far.
there's a chef character in season three. She's like Carmi and Will Poulter. Forgetting his name in it, Luca. They worked for her when they were young, when they were starting out as chefs. And she's British. I forget that name. Anyway, yeah, it's her final night in a restaurant. She's closing, so she invites loads of like chefs and her ex colleagues and stuff around. And it's there's like a load of chef characters all sat around a table, and I think some of them are chefs in real life, like professionals. Um, yeah, and they have this conversation about like just the how 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 being a chef and cooking food is so noble and so like it's just so amazing and sort of it really is the most noble of professions and stuff, like yeah, sustenance and keeping people alive, and it's just like, oh, fucking wind it up,
Yeah, like
you
fucking
know
shut up.
fucking shut up, you
Yeah,
know and I'm taking the piss, like I don't really mean that, but it's just like, like, oh, fucking wind it up, will you? Like it's just they're all just sitting stroking each other's dicks about how, oh god, we're all so fucking awesome,
yeah,
um, and it's yeah, it's going that way where everything's just like so, silent, earnest nod towards one another, and then they just keep saying I love you or I'm sorry, just shut the fuck up.
yeah,
Um, yeah, I'm struggling hard, real hard with the bear, really hard, and I loved it. The first two seasons, I was the biggest fan in the world. Thought they were great. Um, Season three didn't like. Season four, fucking agony. I was glad
mm,
when it finished.
that's disappointing.
So anyway, yeah, 9 out of 10.
Nine, 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10. Okay, all. All
Yeah,
right.
that's the limit of my watchings. I've not watched
Yeah.
much else.
Right. Well then, we'll be back next week on track with. I know I've said this for a couple of weeks now. With back to our favourites, our run of our favourites, where we're on to dramas and biopics. Um, In the meantime, in the comments, let us know what you thought of Superman, what you thought of Novocaine, what you thought of The Bear, what you thought of Mobland, Megan 2.0. Let us know.
I am interested on hearing other people's Superman opinions, like, because it seems to be very divisive.
Oh, I think it's great. Like, I couldn't sing its praises enough. Like,
Mm,
I think it's absolutely fantastic. It's just how well it lives in its own world. It
mm,
doesn't try to be anything that it's not. It doesn't try to make to come into the real world. It just lives in its own comic book world, where Superman is Superman, where he has his own problems. He's struggling to keep a grasp on everything going on around him and keep his own morals and own perspectives. It's a very it sounds a bit daft, but it's a very human story, um, with all these supernatural elements and creatures and beings of power. And at the end of the day, he's just uh, a man that's trying to do the right thing. And it's the scene in it where it's on one of the clips or one of the trailers or something where Lois is interviewing him as Superman, and she's talking about him intervening in the war and stopping the war, and he said, "Oh well, I was just doing the right thing." And she's going, "Yeah, but did you get permission? Did you go and see like the president and tell him what you were going to do and say how you were going to interfere in this war of these two countries?" And he says, "No, because I wanted to save lives. I wanted to do the right thing." And that is in his core. That's in his essence. It's just a man that wants to instill hope, that wants to do the right thing, that wants to use the abilities he's got for
mm,
the greater good. I thought it was exactly what Superman needed to be. It was exactly the kind of Superman that I needed to watch. Very
mm.
hopeful, very optimistic, very very trusting. I
Yeah,
thought it was great.
they definitely needed like the cartoon Superman, like how
Yeah,
he is in the
yeah,
animated, because he
exactly,
was great in
exactly.
that. That
Like,
was much like
is it a
Batman.
Superman
That
that would
was
go into the real world? Absolutely fucking not.
mm,
But it doesn't need to because he's had a world built around him where he
the
fits
real world's
perfectly into
fucking
it.
horrible anyway. We sick of being stuck in that fucking bullshit film.
Yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. I want to see
Um.
Superman in his world.
Yeah. Yeah. Much like Batman, I think DC. I think they've always had the perfect framework there with the animated shows.
Hmm.
I mean, Batman animated series was just the best thing ever. It
Great.
was. I mean, I think it set so many standards for Batman. Um, and it was the stories were great. It was the kind of show that kids and adults could both enjoy. It
Yeah.
was like timeless. It was ageless. It was it was very I don't know. It was like Batman distilled down to its core
Mm.
somewhat and refined into its optimum form. And I
Yeah.
think that the Superman animated show wasn't far off that as well. That was
No,
really
yeah, I'd
well.
fully
It was
agree with
never as
that.
big,
Yeah.
but it was really good. And I think they've always had that there, but they've sort of I think they've struggled with various
Mm.
probably directors and their visions. You know,
Yeah,
like
exactly.
Snyder
And
wanted to turn it into some insane fucking like
yeah,
a mega serious, grim kind of.
I
Yeah.
think a big thing was with the popularity of how at the time, like Batman Begins and Dark Knight, obviously were very kind of
Mm.
grounded in real world, and everybody loved them,
Hmm.
and rightly so. Like the great
Oh, they were
movies.
good. Yeah, they were brilliant. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's what they were. Not everything
Hmm.
needs to be like that. I don't think. Like, you can still have that and have that element of and those movies to exist, and not make every other movie follow that
But
same script, that
it's
same kind of
yeah,
templates.
it's the problem with this shared universe shit. It's they make a good film like that. Say like the Robert Pattinson Batman. It was a good film. I really enjoyed it,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I liked sort of the setting and the like the. I thought it was cool, but that wouldn't mesh with this new Superman. I
No,
don't
no,
think it was a bit
no,
too
definitely not.
violent. It was a bit too dark.
No, you
So I
need
couldn't see.
well,
And I mean, they might try, but I couldn't see it working. But
no,
that's the problem. They want shared universes,
yeah,
and I think shared universes are hard to make.
yeah,
But they kind of make everything wanting to do that.
yeah,
But if the tone's off, you get something like fucking Snyder's Justice League,
Oh yeah,
which was just all over the shop. You know, just
yeah.
it's
You get
yeah,
something like Batman versus Superman. That's what you get.
yeah. It's tricky. It's a tricky one.
Mm,
Shared universe or
yeah,
cinematic universes.
yeah. But like, see what you think. See what other people think of Superman. Obviously,
Mm.
when you get opportunity, check it out yourself as well. And
Oh yeah, I'm
it'd be good
gonna.
to see what you think. Well, I'm going to make a prediction that you will. I don't think you'll have any time for crypto at all. I think you'll be fucking
Nah,
sick of the dog.
I don't think I will either. It just seems like a gimmick.
Yeah,
Um,
I don't think you'll be a fan of the dog. I think you'll like Lex. I think you'll think Nicholas Hoult does a great job of Lex.
I do like Nicholas Hoult. I'll watch him in anything. Yeah, he's
Yeah,
great.
and he's fantastic in it. So I think you'll have a lot of time for that. I think you'll like all of the stuff in the Daily Planet, all of the stuff in the bullpen. Um, you might have similar. I think you will probably have similar thoughts to me in terms of the action and the power scaling on there. That you'll be looking for kind of like a grandiose kind of moment of
Mm.
spectacle that you don't particularly get.
Yeah.
And I think there's one scene in particular that I'm thinking of, and I'll try and remember this saying this to you now. There's one scene in particular where they're in, um, I'll call it a prison for without trying to give too much spoilers. That I don't think you'll be a fan of at all.
Mm.
That particular scene. Um, but yeah, that's my predictions. Oh, Ultraman! I never even spoke about Ultraman.
Yeah, I know Ultraman's in it. He's yeah.
Yeah.
Um.
Um, yeah, it's very clever the way that they use Ultraman and the way
Mm.
that he's used with Lex
Mhm.
is very clever. But I'll let you discover that for yourself when you see it. But yeah, um, that's us at the old guys. Thanks for listening, and thanks for checking it out or checking us out. Make sure to like, follow, subscribe. We'll be back with dramas and biopics next week. Or unless we get a chance to catch Fantastic Four, then we'll maybe talk about that.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, but if not, we'll be back on track with our favourites dramas and biopics. Um, enjoy your week, and we'll catch you next week. Bye.
Bye.